boxcar, and more. And although we may not always agree on his methods, there's one thing I'm sure we can all agree on, and that's we believe in Rick Grimes. Atlanta, please help me welcome Andrew Wicker! We have learned a ton from this character. Everything from the chokehold is illegal, to no matter what the outcome, the right thing to do is to stand up for your family and the ones you love, even if it's against the most ruthless character we've ever met in The Walking Dead. Atlanta, I know you love this guy as much as we do. He plays Daryl Dixon.
There's a buddy of mine called David Gamble. His cousin, Julie. Is she here? What? Sorry. I've been looking for you for a long time. Nice to see you. Sorry, carry on, everybody. Well, quite a weekend, quite a week. Hell of an episode. How's it been for you all? Coming out Sunday. I got attacked. I got attacked by a 12-year-old the other day. Yeah, called me a bunch of dirty names. Shit out of me. Is it delayed? I think you're just delayed. Sunday. I said I beat the shit out of him. That's what I said. He was 12. Yeah!
So, gentlemen, the brotherhood that you share, both on screen and off, is second to none in all of television.
I think I called it the bromance panel that we were doing.
Right. Say romance. What's it been like taking this amazing ride together since episode 1?
Oh man, it's, we had a day just recently, and I said, the show had aired, and I don't watch it, but Norman forced me to watch the fan reaction in my trailer. This was yesterday, 2 days ago. And it's the craziest thing. He looked at me and he just said, this is our legacy, man. And I think it is an astonishing relationship that we have with you guys. This is like nothing else. And there's, when you lose someone like Stephen Young, what a servant. An incredible friend, you lose that connection with somebody that's been on the ride from the get-go. And it is a uniquely crazy, wild, surreal, and beautiful kind of journey. And so you kind of lose a bit of that. But, Norm's been here along with, Chandler, and who's that? My brother sent me Melissa, of course, yeah. And there was a picture that he sent, my bro, and it was black and white, apart from the 3 people that actually I corrected him and said, Melissa McBride's still there. But he's like 3 OGs left, and I was like, yeah, it's only a matter of time.
What is that like on set, like thinking like that there are only 3 left, really the first year? 4, but...
I don't know. I mean, it's different. It's you think back at all those people that you started with, like Jeffrey DeMond and John Bernthal and all these people. When they left it. The show at such a high bar. We just try to keep their memory alive, and we talk about them all the time. While we're on set, while we're filming. you want to keep that level of intensity and that realism, and you never want it to dip. So we're constantly talking about story and where we may be headed, what we just finished, and you always you want to respect the people that helped us get here.
All right, so I'm gonna let you guys line up on these mics. We're gonna hand it over to you all. We're gonna have to run anybody.
Yeah, that's great. Really, really beautiful and luscious.
It's funny.
You know what, just before I went to I said, is it me or you that smells? And he looked at me and it's you.
All right.
I say this.
Start over.
All right. Hi, Andy. Hi, Norman. Hey, really quickly, before my question, I just want to say that my name is Keone from Boise. I'm a single dad, full-time single dad of 2 teenage boys, 16 and 14. And I just have to tell you that your performances in the show has given me a commonality with my kids that has brought me closer to them than you can even imagine. My parents we spend Sundays together now. We use The Walking Dead for homework. It's amazing. So, my heartfelt gratitude to you guys.
Thank you.
So my question is to Andy. Maybe you could just talk a little bit about the scene in last week's episode where you were going to come down with the hatchet and on Chandler, and maybe just talk about what it took for you to get in that space and how difficult of a scene that was for you.
Yeah, great to hear that. The story, I love the fact, I'm so surprised about how, this seems to chime as a family show in spite of the kind of extremism. And also, I think it is, even, and I've said this before, I think even in our deepest and darkest moments, there is a kind of kernel of hope and solidarity, in the show. I think in the bleakest and hopefully the darkest ever point of our show last week, there is that flame, which is, he's our family too, that I say to Maggie, that there's still that moment of unity that we can build on this season. But that scene was crazy, and I don't really sort of go into great detail about what happens, because I don't really know. I just learn my lines, do my homework, listen to a bit of music, and look Jeffrey Dean Morgan in the eye, and shake his hand, and then we both jump, and see what happens. And we're very, very fortunate with our crew. I think the crew is the reason why this show is still as pristine as it is, because they've seen me behave like a maniac so many times that they're kind of used to me sort of just oh yeah, and this is about to lose his mind. And for new people on set, they're like, oh, it's cool, he does this all the time. Just let him do whatever he needs to do, and on camera.
He does this. This is what he does. He goes. It's really weird.
I don't do that.
And then he'll sort of howl like a wounded animal. Here we go.
Like Predator. You're saying I do.
And he expands into his hands. He's like, thank you guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And Andrew, on top of that, so that's how you gear up and then you get going. How do you come down from that? Because I think a week later, the majority of us are still not recovered and we have come down from what happened. So after you shoot both of you, after you shoot those crazy scenes, how do you come back down?
You don't, kind of. I mean, we shot that so long ago, and we shot a lot of stuff since then, but I mean, there was a part of that episode that I shot reaction shots to what was happening months later in a soundstage with none of the actors around. And I was like, oh, God, I'm not Meryl Streep, how am I going to pull this off? But it was...
Your head's much nicer.
That's how you said that. But it wasn't as hard as I thought to go back there, and even coming and doing episode 1, it didn't feel like that big a space happened between doing the finale, last year. So I don't know. It's you do have the energy. Wow, make it louder. Am I just making it louder? Wow, and my ears just woke up. But you have all your cast members like losing it and giving it 110%. And, you said it before. You and Jeffrey's doing his stuff, and Negan's doing his stuff. The people around him that aren't even on camera are like fully crying and losing their shit. So.
And I think you hit on the head. We started this show with an incredible ensemble. John Bernthal, Sarah Wickham, everybody that was engaged in that first ensemble were amazing. And when they go, you just want to honor their performances and the legacy that they leave. And I think losing, Mikey and Stephen in one episode was just cataclysmic for everybody. And we just wanted to throw it all out there and leave it on the pitch in honor of what they came to the show, I suppose.
But they're definitely still with us. You know what I mean? Like all this.
Hi, my name is Marvin from Greenville, South Carolina. And my question is actually for Andy and Norman. And I think you kind of answered this earlier, but my question is, since Lynn's been there since day 1, how has that actually affected your personal life, like your life at home?
Well, I always campaign to not get people killed, and I write quite strong and quite long emails to stop getting and I won't sort of break confidence of what was necessarily said, but I do believe that not having Stephen's just one of my best friends, period. That's just what it is. But his energy on set, he's kind of the social secretary, he's always dresses very nicely, and he's down with the kids. He taught me about hip hop. When I remember vividly when John Bernthal in the first season and Stephen, I was there, I was listening to my music, and I was in some of the busiest rounds of the Maybach and and they looked at me like I had a lot to learn. Like, who is this guy? He's down with MCs. So I got educated by Stephen and John Bernthal in hip hop and American culture, and now all I've got left is Norman for that. Heaven help.
The education is going further. I remember my first day on set with John and this dude, and he's got to put me in a chokehold, and then we actually came out and put me in a chokehold. He's like, so how do you want to do this? I'm like, I don't know, fucking choke me. And he goes, cool. And put me in a chokehold, and I had whiplash the next day. I couldn't lift my head, and I've just been getting banged up since. But to go onto the show and not have, let's just fake this, and let's just, act our way through these. And it's been real ever since, and everyone's kept it like that.
Chokehold is illegal. I said it at the beginning of the video.
It's really early on a Sunday, right?
I'm right. We're gonna go this side, but everybody that's in the aisle this side, can you do like that side and please duck down so everybody will can see. Thank you. All right.
Hi, my name is Kathy. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm here with my daughter, who is 13, and this is her birthday trip.
Happy birthday!
My question is for Andy. Assuming you've never met or worked with Jeffrey Dean Morgan,
how difficult was it to gain that immediate trust in last episode? Especially, you know, did Nigatar give you the room to breathe, especially like when the quiet moments when you're just staring at each other and nothing's being spoken, but so much is being translated in the scenes?
Yeah, that's a really cool question because a lot of the crew was sort of quite confused about sort of after the take that we were doing with the Axe and Chandler, you know, you go through it and then you sort of give a hug to the other actor because you kind of realize that you're in this very strange, very dark, very odd space. Sometimes when we get lucky a lot on this show because there's such a wealth of really, really fine actors, and you kind of get lost in a scene, and I don't know what happens. You kind of, and that's the most exciting thing for me, is that when you sort of, you just disappear, and then you come out and you go, oh, what actually just went on? You know what I mean? And then everybody looks sort of devastated. The crew, you know, men with beards and tattoos that move heavy equipment, sort of can't look you in the eye. You know you've kind of done the scene right, you know. But with Jeffrey just came on. Norman knew him of old, so we had invested. He was a buddy of Norman, so he could just about get in. And also just to watch him at the season finale and how committed he was, and how prepared he was, and how excited he was to be there was a sure sign that we had someone that belonged. But yes, I'm sorry, and Greg Montero is awesome, and just one of the greatest directors we've ever had. And he loves actors and cares about the show more than anybody here, which is saying something.
That's awesome. Well, we found your twin.
I've met that guy before.
Yeah.
Have I met you before?
No, he's new and he is literally your twin.
There's like 9 of you walking around.
Can you come in on Monday?
Yes, please come in on Monday.
Alright, go to say.
Hey guys, my name's Gabby, I'm from New Jersey. And Andrew, I have a message for you before I ask my question.
To me, you're perfect. What's the name? I'm so blind. Thank you very much. That's Rick Ryan. Thank you so much.
My question is, for both of you, how has playing your characters changed your life?
To me, you are perfect. It's changed a lot. I mean, I don't know, it's like anything else. You like your job, you get excited to go to work every day. It's, you go your muscles. Are you flirting with me or something? Like, your hair looks good, you smell good, your muscles, like, you're all over me today. My wife is going home. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, you know, it's changed a lot. It's harder to go to the grocery store, but it's, you know, I don't know, I have this family that I work with, and I can't wait to get back to work with them. It's a lot of fun. And, you know, it's like, usually around this time of year, we were talking about it, we're completely banged up and exhausted, and we're like, yeah, we put in a good year, you know, we earned this year. So, you know, you just look forward to doing it again and again as much as possible. Like, every day is fun. And I'm a guy, I like to get filthy. It's fun.
Hi, I'm Cole from Cleveland, Ohio. My question is for both of you. Since season 1, your characters have transformed incredibly. And since the last episode, you guys both have really turning points. Daryl getting Glenn killed.
I never thought about that while we were filming, up until maybe 3 days ago. The only thing I ever thought about was, I hope Maggie forgives me. And that's the only thing I thought about. I didn't think about anything else. And then, you know, we were riding to the talking bed, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, you don't get shit for this. It just kind of hit me, and Jeffrey goes, I'm just gonna blame you, and he gets up on stage and he's like, it's Daryl's fault. And you can't tell that to a large group of people without them running with it. You know what I mean? I can say anything.
The war has officially started.
Yeah, it's on. But to be honest, I never really broke that wall. I only thought of Maggie. I'm like, how am I going to deal with Maggie? You know? And it makes for a very interesting season. But what were you talking about, Joe?
Andrew, you went through the scene with me.
Yeah, just guys,
Just jump to Andrew.
don't mention the Glenn thing anymore, guys.
And with everything you went through, Negan, what would you like your characters to do or happen going forward? Like, how are you going to
Kick his ass?
You did not do that.
Heck yeah, you can join us. Whoever said that.
You boys know that guy? Dude, he looks just like you, by the way.
Norman is so sexy, isn't he, Jeff? He's so sexy. Oh, is this thing hot? Oh, jeez. I didn't know this was on.
How can you hate that guy? It's totally wonderful. Alright, over here. Over this way, let's go.
Hi, my name is Ashley. I'm from Atlanta. Okay, so we're getting shown getting together, like, so I know that the moment that they had on the house was sort of where people don't realize their feelings. But I was wondering, Andy, if there was a point where you read a script maybe earlier where you thought maybe Drake is in love with her already?
Yeah, it was a strange thing because I wanted, I've said this many times before, my mom's been campaigning for that relationship for about 3 years. She's like, if you saw it, encourage it all. Do that. You should have some influence in that show. Go on, tell me. She's kind of sweet in that baby. She still scares me. But yeah, I mean, I wish in one sense that there'd been a couple more seeds that had been sown earlier in the season. I always thought that there was this incredible connection between Rick and Michonne and almost like a familial connection. But I think what we wanted in that episode with the couch was just that moment of course, you know. It's been staring me right in the face all this time that the person that I love is right here in the arms. So yeah,
You're talking about me, right?
you have no idea how jealous this guy is. He sends pictures and him and Michonne like the night on set looking at this. There's a whole thing going on with just him and he goes, everything alright? He's looking at us and then arms are sort of around the nine. Weird.
I'm jealous of them both.
Yeah.
It's really eating me up. I mean,
He's just stroking his crossbow.
this
This is why we do the couch this year instead of the Reedus. Alright, over to Seth.
Hey guys, I'm Trent from Dallas, Texas. And kudos that you're acting on this last episode.
Insane.
Still being good. To, the snot bubble, obviously.
There was much more snot than that.
Are we really not going to take you a long way?
They spent about $3,000 getting rid of the snot.
Are we looking at a truly broken subservient rig going forward, or is this a plot? Get it exactly from
Well, that was a question I asked Scott, before we shot that episode. I said, is there any flicker of, plan or defiance or anything left at the end of that episode? And he said, absolutely not. So that's the end of the series then.
Is this going to pick you guys Romans?
Is there anywhere I can plug a charger in?
Well, I mean, they took it away from me. So.
We don't have to do it now.
Can't text me. Sex me going on.
I wasn't sure.
Talking about the pasta. Save on the pasta, save the pasta to the man. Love you. And the narrow. Save me pasta skin on the back of the head. No.
You better ask the question, but we'll just keep going.
This is what we do.
Hi, I'm Jennifer from Michigan City.
Whoa, local.
I know I'd rather pay and do the right thing. I have a top version of that.
Sorry.
Your cougar hat.
What's what?
I didn't bring it today.
You bring the cock out?
I didn't bring the cock.
You didn't get the memo? No.
I know. I didn't bring the cock. I left my cock at home.
What's going on with that?
I'm going to tell us an email too.
I really hope my mom is watching.
Did you get it in Nashville?
I got it. Josh McDermott gave it to me.
Really? Well, Warner Brothers is in Nashville, and they have a store, like a standalone store, and you can get more versions.
Do you work for them? Could you get me the cock hat and the bear?
I want the beaver. I want the beaver.
Beaver.
What are we talking about right now?
I have an actual question. I'm sorry.
Somebody give me the beaver. Quick.
So the question is, in season 7, episode 1, did you talk to Scott or Greg about purposefully having that moment where Negan's kind of playing God and it's replaying that scene from the Bible where Abraham tells God, to strike his son?
That's my nuts.
I think God says no.
I think that's the subtext.
Oh,
So did you guys discuss it? That moment where Negan was playing God, or was it not purposeful? Was it purposeful?
I think it absolutely was purposeful. My brother, who is much more he studied theology and philosophy, and apparently he was screaming, he was going, "It's just biblical!" when he was watching the episode. But then he said, "Rick is Job," and I was like, "No, I'm supposed to be Isaac, right?" And he went, "Oh yeah." But I was keen. I wanted the music for the credit sequence to be Highway 61 Revisited. You know the Bob Dylan song? And you know the first bit, you know the lines that goes, God said to Abraham, kill your son. Abe says, what? You must be putting me on. God said, no. Abe said, what? You know, and then it goes on like that. So, and it's a crazy song. And I wanted that to do, but we couldn't see expensive.
Ready to do it? Do you think Rick was ready to do it?
No, I think that the moment that the kid says, do it, Dad, is in the same moment that when he looks into his eyes when Laurie died, is the shattering moment that he's broken. Is the kid unlocks him every time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Get that Bieber hand.
Go get that Bieber, bro.
Justin and Bieber. Bieber.
Bieber, he said Bieber, he said Bieber, you know.
Next question.
I don't know if I can top the Bieber. I'm sorry. Hi, my name is Andrew from New Jersey.
I like your voice.
Got that Demi Moore thing going.
That's how I can tell. Yes. I purposely work on that. So two people stole my questions already, so I'm going to go on back up number 3.
You have a business question?
Well, I was going to ask whoever shown, so that was already asked. But anyway, speaking of music, I know that you listen to get ready for particular scenes, certain music, and I was curious what song or songs basically got in your headspace for that brutal scene.
Yeah, on the go.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the interesting, David Bowie, one of the great artists ever, in my opinion. And, you know, I listen to a lot of David Bowie, Prince, and Mozart. You know, we lost three great musicians this year. But it was Black Star, that song, that really, it was so, and also the video. Have you seen the video to Black Star? It's kind of haunting and courageous and dark and deadly and really brave. And I just, no one would riff it, weren't we, just before we did that sequence. And I said, we've got to just do something, we just got to throw ourselves off like that. Let's just try and do what, emulate someone as good as that and be as brave as he did on that song. And so I was sort of thinking about that a lot when we did the episode. And I listened to
Walking on Sunshine.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
You know, we were talking about putting together a list of songs that we had for different scenes and getting the actors to do. I think it's kind of interesting.
There's a Once Were Thieves. You know the band Once Were Thieves? Oh. That, oh yeah, there's no one who's that kind of cool. Next question.
Hi, I should try not to cry. I come all the way from Toronto, Canada. Mr. Reedus, this guy on the mic says hello.
Oh, thanks.
And I'm so scared I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry.
This was my last wish to come and see you. Now I saved up everything to come here, especially to see Mr. Lincoln. I just want to say how very proud I am to be here. I'm sorry, I'm usually not like this.
Oh, yeah, let's hug you.
And I'm not supposed to, but I have a very special gift from you, from me.
Let's go hug her.
That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Stalker is all about.
So you guys hug her. It's
He
like-
gets hugs.
Yeah.
Thank you for the presence as well. It's like what that was. I mean, is it a beaver hat, Andrew? But how is it on that fan connection, just like that, the impact? I mean, to see it displayed that way, with all these people here, everywhere, throughout the world, just to be this day. How does that impact you guys personally?
I don't know. It's an impossible question. I mean, the truth is that, you know, we just try and tell this, you know, the greatest story we can with a group of people, a bunch of people that really love telling the story. And we found out that there's been this growing groundswell of people that just dig the story as much as we do. And I've said this many, many times before. The first time we aired at San Diego Comic-Con, we heard your reaction to the pilot, just a teaser for the pilot was incredible, and we knew that there was something else happening here. And I don't know, maybe it's a very strange thing because I'm a very private guy, and people, you guys get that. You guys get, I don't do social media, I don't do any of that. When you guys see me with my family, you leave me be, and all the rest of it, but then it's beautiful when people just come up on the street and just say, hey man, I just had it at the coffee shop this morning. People just come up and say really, really cool stuff about themselves and their lives. So there's a kind of common thing happening. I don't know, man. It's, you know, it's a very weird, but rather unique experience. This whole thing.
I started Twitter for Boondock Saints. Somebody asked me to start Twitter. And I was kind of like just playing around, not really into it so much, didn't know what it was about. And this friend, I think it was season 2, calls me and says, my nephew drowned in a swimming pool, and if you can help, you know, they started a Kickstarter to pay for the hospital bills. And I was like, all right, send me the thing, and I tweeted, and I said, if anyone can help, please help this kid. And before I got back to my house from set, she called, you know, crying, saying, we raised all the money in like 25 minutes. And I was like, oh, I was like, oh, that's what you do with the share thing. And I've been doing it ever since. You know, it's but Andy's right. I mean, it's just something about this show that the honesty level, or I don't know what it is, but people are, that door, that emotional door is open, and we're on both sides of it, and we always meet in the middle. It's super fascinating.
Well, I can speak on behalf of all of us, but we can appreciate more than anything the same passion that you guys put into season 1. We see it in season 7, and even more. So on behalf of all of us, thank you for your interview.
Hi, I'm from Brazil. My name is Kimberly. And I wanted to first say that I actually changed my Siri on my iPhone to a British male accent. So that hi Kimberly to me too. So if you could say that, I would appreciate it. Say hi Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly. Rio de Janeiro. Acapulco. The beach. Sorry.
My question is, what do you think that Rick goes back to Alexandria and he has to address the Alexandrians about what happened and the fact that he's basically no longer the leader? How do you think that they will react to that and how will they look at it?
I think that,
how do you know he makes it back to Alexandria?
I think you may be seeing that this. Are you in the writer's room? You should be. I do think that certainly what a lot of this season's it's gonna be after the after effects of this earth-shattering event and how each of the individual members of the family deal with it in their own way. And I certainly think that what you're also going to see is a much bigger show this year. My glib phrase is it's more sort of Lord of the Rings than Lord of the Flies. So that's what's up. There's going to be pockets, dragons, and little imps, English imps. I really don't know.
It's like my life, it's the boss. Tonight in New York, we have this social club. We have a club called Rouge. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Nicole from Seattle. My question is for both of you, and I was wondering what your favorite season of film was.
Season 8 is definitely.
It's not season 7. I liked 1, I liked 2. I liked them all for different reasons. I didn't even like 7, but
Which one did you like?
I didn't like the one that we're doing. It's been kind of a drag. What? Yeah, there's that guy. Yeah. It's one of those. This is
Thank you.
At least I punched that fucker, right?
So we know now it's just a whole boy.
Yeah, right? There's a romance among them.
All right, just like this way.
Rena Myers, Denver, Colorado. Andy, my question to you is, I think I speak for everyone here, we all think you deserve an Emmy. My question is it good enough for you that we all love you that way, or do you wish for that Emmy?
He wants more.
There is not enough love in this room to satisfy me. Thank you for saying that. You know, the truth is, man, I would exchange this for the world, you know? I mean, look, the level of commitment, I just want to tell this really, really cool story. Every single day until it's done and leave a marker in the sand, and you know, and hopefully do something that everybody that's involved with it and everybody that was part of it is proud of. And if I'm looking too hard outside of that, then I'm not enjoying my life or being in my life. And so much of the gig for me is doing it, is actually being in the space and living, you know, this incredible journey with this guy Rick Grimes and with his family, you know, and that's enough. If I start searching for things outside of that, then it becomes corporate, you know what I mean, in my head, and that's not why I do this. I do this because I love it. It's in my heart, it's in my bloodstream. Okay, that's enough love. That's enough love.
Hi, I'm Elena, Mother Hubbard Photography. This is my mini Carol.
Hi, Minnie Carol.
Wait! Mason. Well, Mason, the mini Rick has a question for you.
Hey, Mason.
Did you see our pictures?
So we did a kids walking dead photo
Yeah.
shoot that went viral. You're in England, so we didn't know if you saw it or not.
No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. Yeah, I did. All the little kids dressed up doing scenes from the show. No, what? Yeah, you did.
You're the only person in this room that hasn't seen them.
Yeah,
Your mother ordered photography.
Yes, yeah. But in the big trailer, they're showing it to everybody.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Well,
Why was everybody showing it?
Yeah.
well, my question was, it was really,
Someone's
really
gonna pay for that.
controversial. It was really viral and controversial, like people were hating me like crazy. I was just wondering, since you saw it, Norman, do you understand why it was so
I mean,
sorry, Andy, I still love you.
sorry. I mean,
I'll show you later.
Then Norman just had a private party on the makeup tray.
No.
I did not see.
Lenny James.
You saw him. You did. Yeah. You saw him. I
Lenny
mean,
James told me that he showed you and Nicotero, but maybe.
yeah. You saw him. Yeah. But you know, I think we didn't see all of them. We saw like little clips of them here and there. You know, we see so much of that all the time. And then it became a controversy afterwards. But I mean, you know, you saw it. But I mean, you know, my kid was in a band called Godfart. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm the right person to be asking this.
All right, let's get over here with this side.
Hi, my name is Kirsten Johnson. I'm originally from Wyoming, but I just moved to this awesome city, Atlanta, like 6 months ago. Love it here. And my question is for Andrew, but feel free to chime in, Norm.
Oh, I will.
I was curious, what is your favorite kind of scene to film? For instance, do you like more of the character-driven dialogue scenes, or do you like more the action scenes? I know you like doing your own
He likes
stuff.
nudity.
I actually did. That's true.
Or do you enjoy more of the visual scenes, like in one of my favorite episodes, the first one that ever aired, where it's like no dialogue?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you've encapsulated exactly why I love playing this part and continue to love playing this part, is that it's so varied. You know, we go to work and each day is different. I don't know what we're going to do. Norman really doesn't know what we're going to do because he doesn't read the script.
He tells me right before we
Yeah, I go, this is your characters. Yeah, okay.
And I go, what do I say? And he goes, you say that. I don't
Okay,
say
yeah.
that. Just point to me when I talk.
Yeah. And then he just doesn't do that anyway, he just makes it up, and that's it. But I love the fact that we can get that. Look, there's nothing better than doing the scene with Stephen Yeun escaping from Atlanta when it was raining, did that kind of kick-ass action sequence. I mean, when I go back home, people go, hey, all my buddies back in the UK just go, how did you get that gig, dude? That's the coolest thing in town. You know, to be able to ride a horse into Atlanta with guns on the back and zombies chasing you, it is a kind of dream come true. But you know, I think the enduring strength for me about the show as an actor is the fact that it's those moments, those tiny little moments, how people put each other through the day. You know, the connection, like the scene after the bite when with this dude was an amazing scene that just flowed. It just happened, you know. And I do believe that, you know, the reason why the bite was able to survive in the show, be in the show, was because of the scene between the guys. And I said, you're my brother, you know, that's our show. That's our show. That will be our show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, that's been it for time. Please do not rush the stage. Safety is our number one concern. But thank you all for coming. Give it up one more time.
All right, guys, I do have a question for you. If you would not mind letting
photo ops to get to. You guys can just probably clear the aisles, let some of those folks out. Also, please be mindful of the cars, disabled attendees and
Guys, you
wheelchairs.
gotta get back. You're right in the back. We gotta back up. Back up.
Like you said, no rushing.
Thank you.
We ask that you leave your rush towards the stage. We have lots of equipment out here. And some of our
Got the back up.
We gotta move this table.
Back up.
We've got equipment here.
Thank you. Guys, back up a little bit, okay?
Please be mindful of